Peanut butter. That's the word he chose. Not with not and peanut butter. Like it's a recipe. Like there's a stove involved. He typed it, hit post, and walked off like he did something. Second leak in a week. Same baby mama. Same former friend. Same phone that keeps ending up in his hand at 2 a.m. And somewhere between the caption and the delete button, Jonathan Porter, Blueface, if we're still doing government names, forgot the one thing every rapper who's ever leaked something forgets. The internet was already laughing at him before he pressed send. Quick one before we get in. Y'all been rocking with us through every twist of this Blueface saga. So tap that like, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and settle in. Part 2 of this mess is already writing itself while I'm typing. Real talk. Here's what's on the table. No dressing. Over the last several weeks, Blueface, Jonathan Porter, out of Los Angeles, has posted, deleted, reposted, and reposted again alleged intimate footage involving his baby mama, Jaidyn Alexis, and his former close associate, the man they call Bravo. Same time frame, a Bay Area rapper named Kai Bandz drops a song and a video with Jaidyn. Same time frame, Blueface starts screaming snitch on the internet. Same time frame, Kai's manager pulls up with a 100-band bounty on the words. That's the incident. That's the whole page. Now watch what's underneath it. Movement 1. What they actually said on record. Real talk. I'm gonna let the quotes breathe for a second before I touch anything. Kai Bandz, sitting in what sounds like the calmest room in this whole story, said this on his interview run. I don't beef over females, bro. If she going, she going. It's never my BTCH, his BTCH. It's your turn with the BTCH. It's our BTCH. You gotta share, bro. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Okay, that's a whole worldview in 6 sentences, and I don't think he blinked once. Then, over on the Blueface side of the map, Hot New Hip Hop reported his caption when he dropped the second clip. All you local nickels hanging with a snitch every day says a lot. Don't come around me. I really programmed. Tell his manager send me that money. Wild. Not look what she did. Not look what he did. Send me that money. He turned his own leak into an invoice. Now, Jaidyn. She didn't type a paragraph. She didn't need one. Per Blue Rock T's IG breakdown. Her whole reply was a single dagger. Ooh, I get it. You gotta get that foreclosure tender. I read that 3 times. 3. Because the way she folded foreclosure and chicken tender into one word. That wasn't a clapback. That was a fatality screen. And then Kai's manager, who Cheryl's World says has been keeping the temperature high all week, said this to his story. Tag this hoe ass Enga Blueface and tell this cornball ass Enga we got 100,000 if he can show us right now of a Enga Kai snitched on. Real paperwork. Not no AI SHD. Silence. That's my reaction. Just silence. Movement 2. Pulling the thread. Alright, so let's line this up, because the win is where it gets nasty. Rewind. Blueface's own son Javon, back when Blueface first came home, told him on camera that mommy didn't have a boyfriend, but Bravo helps her. That was 2 years ago. 2. That clip has been sitting on YouTube like a Chekhov's gun the whole time. Then Blueface goes back inside. Bravo stays around. Bravo, per the same reporting from Cheryl's World, was allegedly helping during the exact stretch Blueface was serving time. Blueface gets out. Silence. For a minute. Then, actually hold on, back up, this is the part that gets me. The sequence. Blueface didn't leak Bravo the day he got home. He didn't leak Bravo the week Jaidyn dropped her project. He leaked Bravo after Kai Bandz showed up on a track with her. Not before. After. That timeline isn't a suggestion, that's the whole map. Because that interview Kai did, the one where he casually laid out that Blueface was mad about the 2 Little Freaks plus the song with the BM, that dropped per YouTube's back on Fig Breakdown, right around the leak. Not weeks apart, days. And the deleted post, Blueface Tinder Blue comment about Kai months prior. That was already the appetizer. Nobody caught it in real time. Everybody's catching it now. Real talk. The leak wasn't about Bravo. Bravo was the ammo. Kai Bandz was the target. That's a different story than the one being sold. Movement 3. Small details, big damage. Zoom in with me for a second. Not on the whole spectacle. On the fragments. 1. The word tender. Kai's manager used it first. Tender, ass capping ass. Then Jaidyn used it. foreclosure tender. Then Kai reposted with a picture of a Rolls-Royce RR and the caption, "Burnout, bro. Give it up." Look at how that word traveled. From manager to baby mama to artist, all inside 24 hours, all pointing at the same guy. That's not a coincidence. That's coordination. Or it's the funniest accident in rap Twitter this month. Take your pick. 2. The receipts Blueface actually posted. Per Blue Rock T's coverage, the alleged paperwork he dropped got instantly disputed. Fans in his own comments were arguing whether the document was authentic or photoshopped. He asked for $100,000, and the internet asked him for a notary. That's not a checkmate. That's a stalemate at best and a cell phone at worst. 3. The caption he chose, "I really programmed." Read that back. He didn't say, "I really move like this." He didn't say, "I really live like this." He said programmed. Like he's on autopilot. Like even he knows the loop he's in. And I don't think he meant to admit that, but he did. 4. Kai's flex. Instagram receipts show him going, "I'm in Fairfax right now, 60 ball around my wrist, another 40 around my neck, this for management." Forever paid, beast. He didn't respond with a diss track. He responded with an inventory. That's a very specific kind of confidence. That's a man who knows the smoke costs him nothing. I had to sit with that. Movement 4. Who's spinning it which way? Here's where the media split gets interesting, and it's not what you'd think. Hot New Hip Hop framed it as a response story. Jaidyn's reaction is the lead. The leak itself is background. Blueface is treated almost like a natural disaster you report on after the fact. Blue Rock T and Cheryl's World framed it as a pattern story. Same guy, same behavior, same aftermath, and their coverage keeps threading it back to the years-long chain of leaks, streams cut short, and public meltdowns. That framing quietly punishes Blueface without a single insult. And then the Instagram gossip ecosystem. Hood Trophy Bino picking a side, the reposters, the reaction accounts, framed it as a comedy story. Jaidyn's foreclosure line is the caption. Kai's Rolls-Royce is the visual. Blueface is the punchline. 3 outlets, 3 completely different weight distributions. And the one thing none of them are doing, none, is treating Blueface like the wrong party. Even the sympathetic angle isn't sympathetic. That's the tell. Now, the loudest counter-argument in the comments, I've seen it, y'all have seen it, is that Jaidyn did do something foul while he was gone, so Blueface has the right to embarrass her. And listen, I'll steelman it for one beat. If the allegations are accurate, that is a betrayal, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend it isn't. But here's what that argument doesn't answer. If this was about hurt, you don't wait. You react in real time. You don't wait until a new man drops a song with her. Then time your leak to torpedo his momentum. That's not a broken heart. That's a marketing plan, and a bad one. The energy of this whole situation just shifted, y'all. Because now we're not talking about a leak anymore. We're talking about why the leak dropped when it dropped. And that's a very different conversation. The part nobody will say out loud. Everybody's reading this as heartbreak. Everybody's reading this as a man losing his cool over his baby mama. I don't buy it. Not even a little. Flip the whole board with me. This is a market share problem. Kai Bandz didn't just take a girl. He took a narrative. For years, the entire Blueface ecosystem, the streams, the podcasts, the reality TV, the leaks, the mom drama, the co-star chaos, has run on one engine. Blueface is the main character of his own life, and everyone else is a supporting cast in his content pipeline. Jaidyn's music, her lives, her drama, funneled through him. Even the fights fed the brand. Then a new artist walks in, drops a song with her, doesn't beef, doesn't clout chase, doesn't take the bait, and suddenly the pipeline reroutes. She's on his video. She's on his stories. She's calling him her new man per Kai's own interview run. The engine that was running on Blueface chaos is now running on Kai's calm. And Blueface didn't lose a woman. He lost a revenue stream disguised as a relationship. That's why the leak. That's why the snitch allegation. That's why the paperwork. That's why the $100,000 dare. Because if Kai's a snitch, the narrative goes back to Blueface. If Kai's not a snitch, and the internet keeps waiting on documents that keep not appearing, then Kai keeps the girl, keeps the song, keeps the clout, and Blueface keeps the receipts of his own unraveling. And listen, I'll say the quiet part. The foreclosure line from Jaidyn wasn't just a jab. If even some of what she's implying is real, that 100 grand isn't spite money, it's survival money, then this whole crash out looks less like alpha behavior and more like a man doing bounty work on his own dignity to keep the lights on. I don't know if that's true. I'm saying out loud what her caption implied. And her caption implied a lot. Opposition's gonna say I'm reaching. Opposition's gonna say a man leaking a woman is just a man leaking a woman, nothing deeper. Opposition's gonna say I'm giving Kai Bandz too much credit for what's really just luck and timing. Opposition's gonna say Blueface is the real one because he's keeping it a buck. And opposition's gonna say this whole read is fan fiction with citations. I hear you. I disagree. Because keeping it a buck doesn't come with a Zelle handle attached. That's not honesty. That's a receipt with a price tag on it. Where this actually goes. Watch how the next 4 to 6 weeks unfold. Jaidyn is about to have the biggest streaming moment of her career, and it's not going to happen despite this. It's going to happen because of it. Every algorithm on every platform is now boosting her name for reasons that have nothing to do with music, and once the actual music lands in that window, the numbers are going to look like a spike a label pays consultants to manufacture. She won't need the co-sign anymore. She won't need the last name association. By the time the next single lands with Kai, the Blueface baby mama framing is dead. That framing dies quietly, and it's already halfway in the ground. Don't be shocked when Kai Bandz turns this whole stretch into a full-length project. He's been baited into a feud and refused to bite for a reason. Every non-response is another cosign from listeners who are tired of the loudest loses brand of rap beef. His stock right now, out of the Bay Area/Fairfield scene, just quadrupled without him rapping a single bar about it. Once he does rap about it, and he will, just not the way people are expecting. The streaming bump won't be a wave, it'll be a resurface. And 5 years out, this stretch becomes the case study people cite when they're breaking down how not to handle a post-prison return. Not a diss track, not a beef, a case study. The way we still talk about certain 2010s meltdowns as cautionary tales. That's the residue this leaves. Not Blueface got exposed. Blueface exposed himself. Different sentence. Same subject. Very different obituary. The opposition, meaning the ride-or-die corner that keeps insisting Blueface is going to win this by outlasting it, is about to learn the hard way that in 2026, the internet's memory is longer than the algorithm's patience. You can't outlast a leak you posted yourself. And the favored side wins because the favored side never picked up the microphone. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room is the one that already lost the argument. Before you bounce, you got the read nobody else was willing to type out. If this hit, smash that like, subscribe, ring the bell, and drop your take in the comments. Team Kai? Team Jaidyn? Team, y'all all need therapy? I want all of it. Next one's already loading. Celeb Virex, out.